Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. I hope you're all doing great, and hope you're all, well, I think the better thing to say is hope you're all still doing fine after what happened last night. Last night we had the biggest liquidation event in crypto ever. All right, so it was, well, I mean, the sentiment in the market right now is quite low. We're going to do a full analysis on Solana right here, kind of like a crash update, an emergency update, what to expect. Why are my drawings where are they gone? I have some troubles with my internet right now, which I do need to fix because otherwise we will not be able to make a video. But first of all, let's talk a little bit about what happened. And you know, it's a mix of two things, right? So fundamentally, obviously, we had the reignition of the trade war between China and the United States. So that caused quite a lot of trouble in the markets, right? Not only for crypto, but also for the general financial markets, right? So that was, well, normal, I would not call it, but that was to be expected that we would dump. In my video on Solana that I think I posted yesterday, I also spoke about the possibility, if we get bad news, we'll spike down lower. Did I expect us to spike down this low? No. And the key reason for that is quite clear, is that, well, I mean, yes, we had bad news, and that is true, and the price will also will always drop down because of that. But there was also a liquidity crisis specifically in Bitcoin, which basically meant that there were sellers selling at market and there were no buyers selling at taker, right? So basically with limit orders, and we're back online. So what that meant is that you had some sellers that wanted to market sell, but there were no limit orders in the order book. So what happens then? Well, there were limit orders in the order book, but much lower. So what happened is that prices dropped down much lower. I would argue, if we take a look at Solana, it's actually holding up relatively well. It's not holding up as well as Ethereum. Ethereum is holding up even better. And you can also see, I mean, Solana is also not outperforming the markets. But the thing is, so that happened. First of all, the last thing that I wanted to say about that is that we've never seen something like this, right? So there's no historical precedent, or there's no, you know, something that happened in the past that we can look at and say, oh, this happened then, and then we did that, and that was bullish, or we did that, and that was bearish. No, we don't know. The thing is, and I spoke about this briefly yesterday as well, is that when we're talking specifically about Solana, 180, like $200 was still fine if we wanted to hold some sort of an uptrend, and we have at 185 we have a very strong support level as well with the yearly rolling VWAP. And here you can see, I mean, on the 3-day time frame, we're actually still holding the uptrend. So I am relatively optimistic about Solana, but the big question right now is, well, can we actually hold, first of all, can we hold that level around 184, 183? That is crucial, right? We have the yearly rolling VWAP at 186. Holding that would be even better. That is the first thing we have to do. If we're unable to do that, going into tomorrow, going into Monday, if we're unable to hold 184, 183 as support, we're going to drop down lower. And then the next support level is 160. But honestly, we could fall down as low as 130. That's a little bit extreme, but I want you to be prepared for the worst case scenario, right? Especially with what happens overnight. And then if we are able to hold that level, which I think is a little bit more likely given historical incidents that happened that were, you know, close to what happened, but also given the fundamental situation and my view on that, if we are able to hold that, I think we can get some stability on top of 185, and I think we can even see a move into $200. But I don't want to talk too much about more yet, right? About a potential reclaim of $200. A reclaim of $200 would be the best case scenario, because then all of a sudden we are trading above the previous value area high again, and we're actually in structure bullish. So that's good to know, but I would say it's more likely that we will be able to hold support right here. That strongest support is right here at 186. That we will be able to get some stability between 186 and 200 over the course of the next couple of days, right? So we can be volatile, we can spike up and down, but okay, that's fine. As long as on the higher time frames we're able to hold that, I expect stability, and then from that stability, also very much dependent on how the fundamentals develop, we can either get a bullish reclaim or some sort of a bullish breakout, whatever you want to call it, or we will drop down lower. But that is very dependent on how the fundamentals develop. Be aware of that. But those are my thoughts for now. That's what I think you need to know. So thank you for watching, everybody. Take care and bye.